guideline of what we could write in that scene. So the directors would like be like, oh, the scene needs to introduce the characters, their problems, and it's the I Want song. So what do each characters want? And also they asked for a melodic hook going up and here hitting superhuman notes. And I have to say, yay. So yeah, and so it was actually very convenient though that I was a singer, knowing that, because I would have to test out certain words. Because in singing, what words you use makes a whole difference in how you can sing it. But yeah, sorry, the question was like, sorry.
It's just like, you know, you had that note in, but like, how did you actually crack golden?
Oh, well, you know, it was truly teamwork. It was, again, usually as a songwriter, you're in the room with, you know, the writers and the artists, but with this, it was with the directors, with the producers, with, you know, our incredible executive music producer, Ian Eisendrath. He really was super important in gluing everything together. My co-writer, Mark Sonnenblick, and, like, obviously the track, shut up, Mark Sonnenblick, was great. And the track was produced by, you know, Black Label, IDEO, 24 Teddy, so it was just, it was the last song we wrote. And I just remember, I think we had dinner the other day, and we all like said it together. It was just something in the air. The synergy was like perfect. You know, I remember when, you know, I heard the track was just so good. I think Maggie told me that she cried the moment she heard the track. It was like, that's the one. When I heard it, I was like, this is the one. Like, I think out of all the tracks I've ever seen, I was like, it was my favorite. And that's why the melody came out so fast. It came out in a taxi, you know, on the way to the dentist. And like, I just had to put it down. So like, you know, the voice now went on. I was very excited to finish it with my co-writer, Mark Sonnenblick. And I remember just like, finishing the song and just looking at each other on Zoom, just like, yo. Like, to us. And I remember after that, I had a session to sing Free. And, you know, the directors and everyone was in Korea at that time. I remember going to the studio and I was like, Maggie, Chris, I think you're gonna like this song. And I was like, hyping it up. And yeah, they responded, and apparently it was a great response and everyone loved it. So it was different. It was definitely different when we finished Golden.
What a tune, we're so grateful for it. So, from what I understand, none of you were in the recording booths together when you were recording the voices or the singing. You met for the first time at the premiere. This is all talk about that.
I mean, so I had met Arden and Meg before we started working on the film, just kind of separately. The Asian American entertainment community is very small. But then I didn't meet the three singers until actually long after the movie came out. We were all at the premiere and actually just like never ended up meeting each other there. So I met
We met at a separate movie.
at a different movie.
After the premiere, after our premiere.
And then I think I actually got to like meet you, EJ, and Audrey, I think in like December.
Yeah, what? Similar, because I met EJ for a photo at the premiere. It was like literally 2 seconds, and then we were taken apart for press. And then I feel like I met like Ray and Audrey through DM. I'm like, wait, you were there too? Like, it was just like,
Yeah, I was too scared to approach Jiyoung.
no one told me the singers were at the premiere.
we met. We like locked eyes across the room. We're like mirror connections. That does seem very appropriate.
Yeah, but when we recorded the voices too, I didn't hear the music, and I didn't get to hear EJ's voice till I think the movie was like 80 or 90% completion. Right, so it was like just trusting Maggie and Chris and trusting their vision. And yeah, now I understand why when we'd record, they'd always have me pitch my voice a little lower, and I wonder if it's to match your singing voice.
Well, I think they always wanted Rune's character to have a lower voice. I remember Maggie mentioned that. So, but yeah, it was really cool because I saw all the actors at the premiere. But I remember I would meet, you know, Audrey and Ray separately though at the studio. We would like cross paths if our sessions were next to each other. And I was like, I And I remember the first session you had in Korea with your pink backpack. She always talks about this pink
You
backpack.
know, that's the first impression. I mean, what a gospel song, guys.
It's crazy. It's crazy when you like meet people, and I've known Ray too for a long time. It is crazy. The community of you know, I think Asian American people and Korean Americans especially doing it is really small, and it's very supportive. Honestly, I would say like everyone is looking out for each other, and I think with EJ, it's like it's weird when you meet someone and then you don't know how big of a part of your life they're gonna be in the future. Like life is so weird like that. Like at the premiere, we're like, okay, well, hope to see you sometime. You're gonna laugh. You're like, this was really nice. And hopefully we'll cross paths. In the future.
1 month later, we're swarming into the abyss.
Chaos. The whole point of that is just to be like, it's such a great testament to the animators, to Maggie and Chris, and the incredible work that they did, because nobody knew that you weren't together, you know, recording this. So shout out to Maggie and Chris.
Maggie and Chris are pretty good voice actors. Because they're probably the earliest session, they would do mirrors. And it would sort of help build the vibes, you know? Because voice acting can be kind of awkward and embarrassing when you're just doing your lines by yourself in a very big studio with everybody staring at you in the corner. So, yeah.
I remember that vibe when I watched like some of the screenings. It was Maggie's voice, and she would do Zoe's voice, and Zoe's voice was always like, ah, and the mirrors.
She really does. Maggie can do a very good Zoe, and Chris can do a very good Monroe. It is pretty incredible. Like I don't know how it was for the singers, but as actors, you're always entering these projects midstream, and so especially in animation, these things are developed for years and years and years. So you're getting to see all their concept art and the storyboarding and the scratch dialogue that we're all talking about, where Chris and Maggie recorded everybody's dialogue to help the animators time the sequencing of all the shots. And you get to take all these ingredients and pieces from all these hundreds of people who have known and lived with your character longer than you have, and understand the character as well, if not better than you do, and then you produce all these performance options for them to go back in and create this whole piece out of. And it feels even more collaborative that two people played each role, because there's all these different versions and takes on Zoe that end up coming together to this fully realized human on an animated screen. It's amazing.
Love that. Speaking of voice acting, Arden was actually nominated for an Annie. You know, we're talking about, demons and, the inhabitants. So how has the success of this film, of the song, like, given you confidence in who you are today? Gia, I'm gonna start, Gia.
I actually was thinking about this. I said it at the premiere, but I think a lot of the time the bravest thing you can do is be yourself. And I'm always, whenever I watch the movie, I'm very struck by how the animators paid so much attention to Zoe, and her eyes are kind of flitting back and forth between Rumi and Mira. She's always trying to figure out the exact level of herself that's going to be acceptable for the world around her. And I think the beautiful part of her journey is that although she's thought that she may be too American for Korea, too Korean for America, too much, not enough, that line, it's her coming from both backgrounds and her being a product of diaspora that makes her beautiful and that makes her so special. And I also would argue that it's what makes this movie so special. So I think the